and our viewers. As you know, as general elections are drawing closer and closer, resonance of religion and specifically divisive communal overtones and agenda, so that has become louder than ever in political arena. Writ petition is filed in Delhi High Court with prayer to curb this menace for barring Narendra Modi specifically from contesting elections. Petition is directed against actions and attempts of Narendra Modi to identify himself with Hindu deities, Hindu religious beliefs, and thereby pressing religion into poll maneuvers. Attempt to make Ayodhya Mandir a poll issue is another issue. Myth of Hindu god Lord Rama is made a pawn on pole chess, and a famous song as it puts it, जो राम को लाए हैं हम उनको लाएंगे. So vast sections of people are now fed up with this Mandir-Masjid issue, yet as much as possible the communal forces are attempting to polarize vote on communal lines. Indian ruling elite has no answer or solution to burning issues, massive unemployment, price hike, crime, and corruption, and is left with no alternative than to take shelter under religious divide, exploiting backward religious consciousness of masses for petty political end, and that is the only option left to it. Not only religious, but outright communal propaganda. Parties with spectacular communal identities, Hindu Mahasabha, Shiv Sena, Muslim League, and Akali Dal. Congressmen some time back used to pose Indira Gandhi as Durga. Shiv Sena is at present part of INDIA. Casteist parties like BSP, they also exist there. Open challenge to constitutional proclamations is there. Constitution is proclaiming something else, and on ground we see something else, just contrary to it. Indian ruling elite that took power in 1947 has failed to establish a secular state. Behind the smokescreen of secularism, openly sectarian, communal, and casteist polity is at work. So today in our studio we have invited, I would introduce you to our guests. You can meet Mr. Anand P. Jondhel, who is an activist and has filed the writ petition before Delhi High Court as I had described earlier. Mr. Jondhel is there, and then Mr. Ashok Sharma is there, who is ex-Indian bureaucrat and is very active in movements relating to poll issues. Then Mr. Asad Alvi is there, who is a legal expert, and Ms. Afsha Pracha, who is also legal expert and would speak on this issue. So first of all, I would invite Mr. Anand Jondhel. First of all, I invite him to tell our audience. Mr. Anand Jondhel would tell our audience, our viewers, what his petition is about, what grounds he has taken in the petition, and what relief exactly is seeking from Delhi High Court. So, Mr. Jondhel, kindly tell our viewers.
Dear friends, on 9th April 2024, Mr. Modi gave a speech at Pilbhit in Uttar Pradesh. And in that speech, he said that he has constructed a Ram temple at Ayodhya. I'm telling you in short, but he spoke in detail about how he constructed. Then he said he built a corridor, Kartarpur corridor for Sikh pilgrims. Then he also said that he has waived off which are served in the Gurudwaras. Then he also said that holy books of Sikh religion, Guru Granth Sahib, were brought from Afghanistan by him. And on that basis, he said, he, you all, he was addressing to the voters of Pilbit, they should vote for his party. So that is an clear-cut violation of Model Code of Conduct. The second offense he did, that he mentioned the name of one political party, opposition political party, and he said that those party is favoring to Muslim, they are acting like Muslim League, Muslim party, and thereby he tried to create hatred amongst the voters who were present over there. And he tried to influence the voters to snatch their votes under the garb of religion. So that was number one. And it is an punishable offense under section 153A of Indian Penal Code and section 125 of Representation of People's Act 1951. So I filed my complaint immediately on the next day, on the 10th April, in detail to the Election Commission. Till 15th, I did not receive a single response, not even cognizance of call or the acknowledgement from the Election Commission. Then on the 15th, I filed a writ petition in the Delhi High Court, asking High Court to direct Election Commission to take action as per law, restrain Mr. Modi from using the name of religious gods and places of worships. And according to law, what he did has to be declared as corrupt practice. And like Bal Thackeray was disqualified for 6 years, same way Mr. Modi should be disqualified for 6 years from elections.
So we listen to Mr. Jodhil, who is petitioner before Delhi High Court in a petition which is seeking a relief against Mr. Modi, and not only Mr. Modi but against all communal forces who are using religion as a maneuver to manipulate the voters and to win the elections. Now, I would come to Mr. Ashok Sharma, who is working on the ground as an activist, and his team has done a lot of survey. Mr. Sharma, I would like to ask you, you are working on the ground. Can you tell us whatever Mr. Jondhel is telling to the court and whatever is seeking in his petition? Apart from that legal aspect, what is punishable and what is preventable under law, how do you find it to the ground how these communal forces are using the religious card to manipulate the vote and to disorient the people from political issues, from political considerations towards these religious issues?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I was in Uttarakhand only on the weekend, and I widely traveled some of the districts, including Dehradun. Before this, I had gone to Haldwani along with Harsh Mandar and Navsharan Singh, and they had submitted a report on Haldwani so-called riots. These were not riots. This was basically an action of the police against the Muslim community. Now, their buzzword in Uttarakhand is that we are against the influx of Muslims in Uttarakhand. In fact, I asked many of them as to where the Muslims can go. They will come wherever the employment is. They said, we are not concerned with that. At least they should not come to Uttarakhand. And the same sentiment I found in Dehradun. They said that we simply don't want Muslims. They are taking away our jobs. They are increasing their numbers, and after some time they will become a minority. And this fear seems ridiculous because Muslims are only 2 or 3% in the whole of Uttarakhand, maybe 4%, not more than that. Well, during the election campaigning in last 2 weeks, the BJP leaders and their affiliated groups continue to violate the moral code of conduct with impunity. They are making repeated references to Ram Temple, its consecration. Mr. PM Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, they all are referring to Ram Temple consecration. Other instances are like accusing of opposition of conspiring to destroy Shakti, calling on voters to remember the opposition's sins on the occasion of Ram Navami. In fact, in Meerut, the candidate is the former character of Rama in the Ramayana serial in 1980s. Now, Arun Govil, wherever he goes, he has children dressed up as the characters of Ramayana or Ramlila, and they carry the placards that we have to vote for Lord Rama. In one of his speeches, he said that when I go back to Bombay, people will ask me that when you return to your hometown after such a long pravas, or what we call it, um, uh, vanvas, after such a long vanvas, how many people voted for you? I have to give this reply to them. He always invokes his role as Rama in Ramayana serial and says that he has come to his hometown after 45 years of vanvas and he deserves a warm welcome. He has no other issue to discuss. In fact, yesterday I took a round of the city and other parts of the constituency. Of course, I found that the old posters have been removed, but still one poster is very prominently placed everywhere, and that is with Prime Minister's photograph, which says that आस्था पर नहीं होगा सवाल. It means they are invoking astha or faith of people for elections because they have nothing else to show. In Tamil Nadu, Madam Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Tejasvi Surya, they have been accusing Congress and DMK of accusing them of supporting jihadis. Union Minister Shobha Karandlaje also targets Tamilians, Keralites, and Muslims in most of her speeches. Funnily enough, and that Doordarshan, which is a public service broadcaster belonging to Government of India, it telecast the so-called Kerala story,
Okay.
which is basically a mythical story created by them to malign Muslim community. So all these things are happening, and the Election Commission of India has not taken any cognizance. And of course, our colleague has already filed a petition, but given the past record of Delhi High Court, I do not think that any cognizance will be taken of it, and I won't be surprised if he is not, if a fine is not imposed on him. Nowadays, this has started happening even in Supreme Court. In Supreme Court, we have many petitions lying Even this petition on EVM and VVPAT has taken almost 5 years to come up. And that has also come up during the elections. And I don't think that there will be any outcome if yesterday's debate in the Supreme Court can be an indication. So I think I have taken a lot of time. I will add something else in my next session. Thank you very much for giving me so much of time.
Yeah. So the same thing, Mr. Ashok Sharma has told us that on ground the reality is existing like this, that many things are happening, so many violations of code of conduct, and especially those relating to this religious spreading of religious venom. They are there, but election commission is not taking any action in regarding this sort of violations. Many complaints are being made. Just now, Mr. Jondhel was telling us that he has made a complaint, specific complaint to Election Commission, but Election Commission is not even responding. What to say of taking action on that? And Mr. Ashok Sharma is telling us that not only Election Commission, but even courts are insensitive to the issues. So I would come to Mr. Asad Alvi now. Alvi Sahab, you can express your own views on the issue. You are a legal expert and you can put questions to Mr. Ashok Sharma, to our guests, Mr. Ashok Sharma and Mr. Jondhel also. Mr. Jondhel has put up the petition and Mr. Ashok Sharma is working so much on ground. You can ask them questions and you can express your own views also. Mr. Asad Alvi.
Thank you, Rajesh bhai. Basically, I want to ask few questions from the petitioner, Mr. Anand. Basically, you are a political activist, and the timing of the filing of this petition, I am not saying that your intention is bad. You are a secular person and you are raising voice on behalf of the people who have no voice in this scenario. But at this juncture, when election process is going on and the notification has been promulgated, there is a Article 329, when after the promulgation of the notification, no court can interfere in the election process. So far as the model code of conduct is concerned, it is on website of the Election Commission, and the first model code of conduct is that nobody, no candidate, no political party will take shelter of the religion, and they will not use the mosque or mandir or any religious places for their etc. So my question is, when you are an activist, and this question will be asked by the court also, that at this time, will you clarify to the court that your intention is very clear and you have no interest and it is not politically motivated? And if it is not politically motivated and it's a public interest litigation, in a public interest litigation, it's a first condition of the public interest litigation that you should not be an interested party. If you are a political activist and if you are affiliated with a political party, then you are an interested party. And so far as the violation of model code of conduct is concerned, you have already made a representation to Election Commission, but Election Commission has not responded to your representation. So you have an option that you file a criminal complaint or you file an FIR. But so far as the public interest is concerned, the timing of this PIL is not, I think, is the valid time for this public interest.
Okay, so Mr. Asad Alvi is raising objection to your petition. Mr. Asad Alvi is raising objection to Mr. Jondhel's petition. Yes. Mr. Jondhel, I'm coming to you. His objection is that it is untimely, and if you are a political activist, how you can? So from my side, I can give an answer that even an opposition party or a person who is leader or cadre of opposition party, why he can't put up a petition? He is the most aggrieved party because he is the member or activist of opposition party. So whatever you have to answer to this, Mr. John Dhale, please. Mr.
This
Alvi,
answer to
yes.
from
First of all, it is not a timed petition. I have decided that at this time I'll file. He made that speech on 9th April. Immediately next day, I filed the complaint. On 15th April, I filed the petition. So it is not a question of timing. Number two, it is not a PIL. It is a clear-cut petition for mandamus, writ of mandamus. I am demanding from the High Court because Election Commission was duty-bound to follow the law, duty-bound to act against the person who has violated the model code of conduct. Election Commission was duty bound to register an FIR when an offence is taken place under RP Act. So my petition is under Article 226 for writ of mandamus, for issue of writ of mandamus. It is not public interest litigation. So question of my personal interest does not arise. Number two, I am a valid voter of India. Free and fair election is my fundamental right. If I am noticing there are no free and fair election, I have every right to approach the court. And there is no question of me going and filing the FIR. That will take years. By the time Modi will be retired, even we will be retired. I want them to take immediate action to restrain him from taking the names of gods and the places of worship. That is my main intention. And I wanted to point out, please let me complete. And why I filed this complaint and the petition is that as of today, in the entire country, everybody is scared of Modi, especially politicians, because anybody speaks against him, next day he sends the ED or some issues take out. So being a lawyer, we hold, as Rajeshji knows, we are holding the court. Our entire profession is open. So being a lawyer, it was my duty to fight against an offense committed by high and mighty.
Sir, but there is an impediment of 3 to 9, Article 2, 3 to 9, after promulgation of the notification of Election Commission. No court can interfere in election process. So I think this will be the hurdle of your petition. I think.
For interference, like in the schedule of the election, I can't demand. Yeah, I am not seeking any interference. I am only asking the court to direct the election commission to do its duty. That is mandamus. That is the duty of the court also under Article 226. Is when any authority is not performing its duty, then court can issue a writ of mandamus and ask that authority to act as per the law.
Statements, the inflammatory speeches, it is rampant in the country. He is not the only leader. There are several leaders. So if you are picking one person and you are choosing one person, so it may be, don't you think that the court will ask you that you are partial on your part?
So court cannot ask. Offense has taken place in front of me. I happen to see this speech right from the beginning to end. It is a speech of nearly 45 to 46 minutes, and everything is there. I have given even I have given the transcript also. Today I submitted in the High Court the transcript. High Court in the online. I have submitted a transcript of that entire speech.
We have seen one cabinet minister in earlier election has made so inflammatory and communally colored speech, and because of that, Northeast Delhi has erupted with riots. So you have not made them party. And other, I want
some offences taken place, and I approach the authority. Authority has not acted. Then I approach the court under Article 226. That is what I have done.
Yes.
And
Now,
secondly, I am not the holder of any post, any office, committee post, office of any political party.
question is this. I think in that Mr. Jondhel is right, that he has initiated a process, he has triggered the legal process, and at present, suppose he is he has compiled some evidence and he has put it before the court. Now it is for the court to go on broader perspective. Court can pass directions which are of general nature, and it is not that because there is promulgation of code of conduct is operative and the promulgation of elections, so nothing can be done by the court. Court can put the machinery into operation, and if machinery is not working, so court can give a mandate that machinery should work. If election commission is not doing its duty, then it is the duty of the court to pass a mandate, to issue a writ of mandamus to the election commission that it should work in accordance with law, and that is the duty of the court under Article 226. Court is bound by that. Court is duty bound to do that. Unless and until this legal process is hindered, so the decision of the court, that court would not intervene after promulgation of the notification, that would not be attracted. So Asad Alvi's point is valid, but not in context of this petition, I think, because Mr. Anand is saying something else to the court. Mr. Anand is not saying that election process be hampered, election process be stopped, or this or that party be stopped. What he is saying that election commission should take action for which election commission is bound to. There is legal mandate to the election commission that election commission must act in this and this way. And if election commission is not doing that, so who would supervise the election commission? Who would see that election commission is acting in accordance with law or not? So I would come to Afshaji. Afshaji, you have listened to all the speakers, our guest speakers, and Mr. Asad Alvi also as legal expert. What is your own opinion? What question you would like to put to Mr. Jondhel and Mr. Ashok Sharma, who is an activist and working on the ground, and he is raising the very same issues. What Mr. Jondhel has raised in his petition, Mr. Ashok Sharma is also raising the same issues. So, Ms. Afsha Pracha.
Thank you, Rajesh ji, for having me here, and good evening, all of you. I just want to first make you apprised that in 2019, I have myself filed one writ petition before Honorable Supreme Court, and same as Mr. Jondhel has done in Delhi High Court, I did before Supreme Court of India under Article 32. But unfortunately, fate of that writ of mine was, as usual, it was dismissed, and it was before Justice Nazir at that point of time. And after a waiting period of 3 years, my petition was heard by Mr. Honorable Justice Nazir. Let me come to the point now. I just wanted to ask first of all to Mr. Jondhel. Mr. Jondhel, why did you choose Mr. Modi only? Because this is not the Mr. Modi who is trying to break all the rules and regulation of the code of conduct, but all the party leaders such as Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi, Mr. Tawqir Raza, Pathan Yusuf, Sadhvi Pragya, and yes, Kangna Ranaut. There are so many leaders who are breaking all the law just in order to just win the election. So there are so many leaders who are breaking the law, who are misusing the power of their in their hand, and they all are doing the same crime. So why did you selectively choose Mr. Modi? Do you have some kind of special love for him, or you have some other thing? And let me quote one more thing, that one more lawyer of Mr. Tauqir Raza, Mr. Rajesh Tyagi, is also there, who just argued for Tauqir Raza and got him relief. It was a big victory for him, for Mr. Tauqir Raza. So now the question is, why certainly and specifically Mr. Modi has been chosen by Mr. Jondale? Please.
Akshay is putting the same question to you, Mr. Jondale, what Mr. Asad Alvi has put. He is asking you why you have picked and chose Mr. Modi for that, though others are also making such very express.
Speech only. I got the evidence and I put it before the authority. If you bring the evidence about other leaders also, I can get them in this petition only. I'll make them party. You give me the evidence, I'll make them also party.
But the question would remain to you that you have collected evidence. You have collected evidence yourself against Mr. Modi, but for others you are asking Mr. Alvi and Ms. Pracha to collect the evidence. That question would remain.
At present, I don't have any evidence against any other leader. I can't. If I get it, surely I'll make a move.
But anyway, the answer is that Mr. Modi is representing and is leading the ruling party at center. So primarily he is liable. And he must represent in the court all those who are making such attempts at misleading and disorienting the masses from political issues and political perspective towards a religious and a narrow sectarian communal perspective. So I would come back to Mr. Asad Alvi. Mr. Alvi, would you like to ask anything to Mr. Ashok Sharma also? Because he is the person who is working the ground, and on behalf of our anchors, Mr. Asad Alvi and Ms. Afsha Pracha, I myself would like one thing to put to Mr. Ashok Sharma. Mr. Sharma, how do you look at the petition of Mr. Jondale, and what expectations you are having from the court, that in what manner court can intervene in this matter, can do a favor to Mr. Jondale's petition, or don't you have any such expectations from the court?
I do not have any expectations from the High Court, and my opinion is based on the recent actions taken on similar petitions, Delhi High Court and also by Supreme Court. I also wanted to point out that it is not BJP only which is undertaking this type of campaigning. Today, I received a video of a TMC candidate who is taking out a Shobha Yatra with Lord Rama's photographs all over. I haven't seen the video as yet, but it seems that all the slogans were religious. Similarly, when I visited some of the constituencies, the candidates very prominently displayed their caste. For example, the Samajwadi Party candidate in Meerut is Sunita Verma, and along with her name, in brackets, Jatav is always written, so that people know that she belongs to a particular caste. And even during their speeches, they invoke their caste everywhere. So this is happening not only in case of BJP, all other parties are equally the culprits for undertaking this type of campaigning. In Karnataka, Congress is adopting such measures. They are also, and sacked for campaigning. In Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, political parties are openly exhorting their particular castes for votes. So I think the court will also take cognizance of this fact and say that you cannot single out a particular individual or a particular party. It has to be, this has to be taken, I mean, a broader perspective has to be taken into consideration. So, as far as I am concerned, I do not expect any relief or any kind of action. The court might give you a date, or maybe they may just dismiss the petition. I don't know.
One more question I would like to put to you, Ashok ji, and to our another guest, Mr. Jondale also. The same question I would put to both of you, that how is it possible that under Representation of People's Act, that specifically bars any political party from having any sort of religious allegiance to any particular religion, and if professes in the name of any religion, it cannot be registered, it cannot contest elections. So how is it that the parties like BJP, Shiv Sena, Hindu Mahasabha, they are registered under they're duly registered under the Representation of People's Act. They contest elections, they mislead people. How is it possible that these parties are working in inside the framework of Indian polity, and they are conveniently contesting elections, they are sending their members in parliament and legislative assemblies? How is it made possible under the very nose of constitution and law? Ashok ji.
Well, the law is there, but it is not implemented. I mean, if I mean, many parties have typically religious names. Jamaat-e-Islami, for example, Jamiat Ulema-e-Hind, or many such other parties, or maybe AIMIM, or or Assam Gano Parishad. So I don't think serious note has been taken of these activities by ECI or the courts any time earlier, and I don't think that in future also any action will be taken.
Okay. So, Mr. Ashok Sharma is hopeless so far as the ordinary legal process is concerned, and the courts included. He is hopeless that courts would do anything or the ordinary legal machinery would do anything. Mr. Jondhel, I'm coming to you. How, when Mr. Ashok Sharma is working on the ground, he is not having any hope in the court. How you are having, do you really have any hope in the court or ordinary machinery of law that it would intervene in such matters and would take action? Mr. Jondhel.
First of all, I would like to.
Own experience says in this matter.
First of all, I will request Ashokji, whatever the groundwork, survey report he has, or the evidences he has, he can join this petition as an intervener, or he can hand over that evidence to me so that I can put it in the court. Number one. Number two, so far no action has been taken against any parties who are seeking votes in the names of religion. So nobody has taken up that case seriously. See, you have to build up your case. You have to collect the evidence, then put it before the authority. Then you have to fight in the courts. Not only the High Court, but you should be ready for the Supreme Court also. As Rajeshji knows, we are practicing advocate of Supreme Court. Whole day we are sitting in the Supreme Court. And I am not alone. There are many lawyers who are supporting me. We are ready to fight this battle till the end, including Rajeshji. We will fight this battle till the end. We will not leave it as it is. And we will use each and every provision in the law to wipe out this religious appeals. Any party who is making. I am not singling out only Modi. If I get evidence against any other person, I will file complaint against that person also.
So this is response of Mr. Jondhel, and I'm coming to you, both to you, Afshaji and Asad Bhai, and I will put the same question to you for a brief answer before you put your own questions to Ashok ji and Mr. Jondhel. I will put this question to you, that whether you two, having your experience in law and courts, do you expect any positive outcome of this petition from Delhi High Court? And whatever questions then you want to put to Ashok ji and Mr. Jondhel, you can put it. Yes, Afshan ji, please.
Rajesh ji, being a lawyer, I really can't be so negative and disappointed by the court of law, because we never know what is the trigger point, what is the next turning point in point of law. Although that I have already lost one serious petition, the same of the nature before Supreme Court, and my uh, reason for filing my petition before Supreme Court of India, because it was also a time of code of conduct, and uh, in Gargi College, where female students were being molested by the huge mob during their yearly festival they were celebrating, and certain slogans were being chanted by certain mob, and this is the reason. And especially these victim girls approached me, and they showed their apprehension and their fear of being exposed, and they especially requested me not to show their identity. That only made me to be a party in it, and I myself with my name filed that petition under Article 32 before Supreme Court, and unfortunately after waiting period of 3 years I got that dismissed. Still, I am hopeful that and praying for Mr. John Dale's writ petition that he'll meet justice in that writ. But certainly, I am on the same pitch where Mr. Sharma has already expressed, and I just wanted to know to him too. Would we be ever overcome the nature of the election in our country, that every person who want to win the election or do something big, they only choose the one track of communalization and using the religion in between, without talking about success, without talking about their work they have done in previous life? What is the scope of in our country of that overcoming that religion part from our point of view?
Alvi Sahab, I'm coming to you, and I'll put the same question to you, that whether are you hopeful of some positive outcome from this petition, and if anything you want to ask further to Mr. Jondhel or Mr. Ashok Sharma.
So far as Mr. Ashok Sharma sir is concerned, I'm very thankful that he is the reformist. He is doing a great job for the reform of the elections. It is needed, and no NGO or no political party who is doing for the reform of the elections. So far as the court cases and PILs are concerned, I'm hopeful, and there are certain cases which have given the new direction to the elections. In one petition, the order to file the assets, the Supreme Court has ordered to file the FIRs and the criminal cases when you are going to contest a case. And so far as the BVPAT is concerned, one petition has been filed by the Subramanian Swamy, who was saying that EVM is not working properly, and there is chances of hacking the EVM. Then VVPAT has been installed with the EVM with the direction of the former Chief Justice Satya Shivam. He has given a very nice and I would say the historical judgment for this, and VVPAT was installed. So there are so many things which are coming out of the public interest litigation. The person like Jondel Saab, who stood for the public and he raised the issues and take a bold step and fighting with the such kind of petitions, it is appreciable. But so far as the legal impediment are concerned, so far as the Article 3 to 9 is concerned, there are so many things which comes when it will argue. So court will see to it whether it comes within the meaning of 2 to 6 or his prayer is comes within the meaning of 2 to 6. But so far as Ashok Sharma Saab is concerned, I'm grateful to have him here. And I don't have any question because he is so seasoned diplomat and he's doing a reform in the election. And in elections, the communally inflammatory speeches is not the new thing for the elections. So far as the name and the symbols, the symbol of Congress was cow and calf. It indicates something. It is for to allure the voters those worship to cow. And there are so many things. It is not only the Hindu Mahasabha, Ittihad Muslimin, Muslim League. All these registrations has been given by the Election Commission, and nobody has raised their voices that this is against the ethos of the secularism and it is against the constitutional values and it is against the People's of Representative Act. But it is going on since in 90, the 4 or 5 elections have happened on the name of Ram Mandir. So now it's time to awake, and definitely people have fed up with this communal politics and they want the development in the country.
Mr. Asad Alvi is making a point. His point is that it is not the BJP alone. Yes, BJP is leading. It is the spearhead of that communal movement. It has spearheaded and it is having very close allegiance to VHP-like organizations, Bajrang Dal, VHP, and the whole Sangha Parivar. But it is not a BJP alone. Even Congress has done that. It has consciously taken this election symbol, cow and the calf, and etc. etc. So he's making a point that it is not the BJP alone, but all the parties of ruling elite, whether it is Congress, SP, BSP, this or that, they are using these cards, communal, religious and caste cards, as maneuvers to garner the votes and to befool the people, to fool the people and to get the votes somehow. The question is somehow different, and in the last round I would put it to my guests and to anchors also. They must also think on it, that these are two different, there are two different aspects. One is communalization of politics, spreading the communal venom and all that, and the use of religious symbol. That is another, that is quite another thing. The use of Guy and Bachra, the cow and the calf by Congress, that may not be so communal thing, that may not be directed against other communities, but still it was having a religious coloring. It was manipulation of religious sentiment, backward religious sentiment of the masses for political ends, for political motives. So this is that. So these two things, they're two different things. Manipulation of religious consciousness, the backward consciousness is one thing, and communalization, in modern context I may say Islamophobia. The rant that we demolished the masjid in Ayodhya and we made a Ram Mandir on it. Propaganda related to it. Credit taking that we did this. We did this crime against Muslims. So this is another thing. This is outright communal venom. BJP is doing both of them, but other parties are also, they are also soft peddling that. Like Congress is saying that it is we who initiated this move. It is we who who permitted idols inside the Babri Masjid. So they are taking credit of that, soft peddling this communalism during polls. And apart from that, using religious symbols also. Sometimes Rahul Gandhi is showing his Janev, his Yagyopavit. Priyanka Gandhi is going to Mandir and propagating her pics of that visit to Mandir, and so on. But yes, it is correct that BJP is spearheading this movement, and most militantly, I would say, it is BJP who is coming on this front. So I would put it to Mr. Ashok Sharma. How do you look at this, Mr. Sharma?
This is very deeply embedded in our culture and day-to-day life. See, in the last days of the election, everything comes down to caste. Go to any constituency. In last 3 or 4 days, all other issues become immaterial and irrelevant, and it is only caste. Almost, I mean, not all, but most opposition political parties are also basically caste parties. For example, Samajwadi Party, BSP, and many other such parties, like so many parties in Eastern UP, Kushwaha Party and this or that. Now, other national parties like Congress and BJP also give tickets to their candidates on the basis of caste and even subcaste. So we have to accept that casteism and communalism in our polity, in our electoral democracy is going to stay here till we have casteism, till we have communalism, till we have the institution of irrational and unscientific religious ideas. I am not saying that everybody should become atheist all of a sudden or everybody become irreligious. But at the same time, I will emphasize that our society is unduly and overly obsessed about their religiosity, about their caste, and about their subcaste also. If you go to Kshatriyas and many or Brahmins or Banyas, within subcaste they have differences. So it is going to take long time, at least 50, 60 years, not anytime soon. So it has to stay, but it can be controlled. It cannot be done away with, but it can be controlled by election commission, by courts, and by the political parties themselves.
Your last comments specifically in context of your petition on this issue.
I would only say that I have started the movement from my side, and I will take it to the logical conclusion. And I will also take action against any other person is committing the same offense. I am not only against Mr. Modi. I am ready to take action against any other political party also, and I want to take this movement forward.
Okay, Mr. Alvi, your viewpoint, whatever our guests, Mr. Sharma and Mr. Jondale have said.
I am thankful both of them, and they have their valuable views for these selection reforms. And definitely, he is doing something for the secularism of the country. He has his own opinion, and so far as Sharma Sahib is concerned, he is doing a great job. The there is a space for the reform of the election, and election commission is not is a constitutional body, but it is under the government, the appointment of the election commission by the government. So they have the tremendous pressure to take any action against their bosses. It always happens whether it's a Congress government or it's the government of BJP. So it's a tremendous pressure on the constitutional institutions when they want to take any action against their bosses. And I'm remembering just before the uh, notification, one of the election commission has resigned. And in the neighbor country also, one of the election commission not only resigned, but he said that I am the guilty of the misconduct of conducting the elections. So it happens because the appointments of the election commissioner is done only by the uh, ruling party. So they are always the, under the subordination of the ruling party.
So, Mr. Alvi has made a point that the manner in which election commissioners are being appointed, the election commission is functioning, that itself is dubious and under cloud. Afshaji, what are your concluding comments on the debate?
Well, Mr. Rajesh ji, I wanted to just wish Mr. Jondale a good luck. I want to wish him success. And yes, his invitation to Mr. Sharma that he should also file his intervention application in his writ. He should also give it a thought that he such having such a great experience in his field, so he could be a great help to Mr. Jondale to meet the justice. This is all I wanted to say to both of the guests of ours.
So, I think driving conclusions for whatever our guests have said and whatever our two anchor, Mr. Alvi and Ms. Pracha said, I can say that the Indian bourgeoisie that had taken power in 1947 that has totally failed to secure a secular state, rather the state which was born out of the shameful compromise of 47 that has ultimately deteriorated into a state that is apparently communal, that is resorting to religious bigotry, that is resorting to such sort of religious propaganda at the time of polls, which misdirects the entire mass, the entire polls towards towards I would say religious environment that would produce a state next, a parliament, a Rajya Sabha, a Lok Sabha, that would produce something that would be completely marred into the cobweb of religion, of backwardness, of communal poison. So there is all out failure of the ruling elite after 47, and it has further deteriorated, and it is deteriorating further. So with these concluding remarks, I would thank all of the both of my guests and both of the anchors who have conducted this show. Thank you, and thanks to all viewers who have listened to us, who have viewed our show. Thank you all. Thank you very much.